Frank, you've got a couple of guys in-house that will probably be knocking on your door and asking for a shot at Ricky, Murray, Mitchell. Any chance for...
Well, absolutely. You know, John's fighting in December. He's got a tough fight in Madison Square Gardens against Rios. You never know. You know, again, you know, if he's got his mind right, it's a fight that he's got a real good chance of coming away from winning. Kevin Mitchell, once he gets his tag off and he gets his community service done, he finished career assault in those fences, whatever else he's doing, maybe we can get him back in there, who knows, he's a silly fellow, you know, what he's done to himself is just like, I mean, most people, he's the only guy I know who seems to be doing his best to break into prison. And I think the thing is with him is that it's silly because there's a great fight there between them, great domestic fight, and there's a great domestic fight. Well done, son. And there's a great fight with maybe a local derby up there with the man from Edinburgh. The man from Edinburgh. You never know. Why not?
The middle one.
George, a devastating second round finish tonight. You must be delighted with the way it went.
Yeah, definitely delighted. Explosive finish.
He's fighting again in December.
Yeah. Next week. We love to keep busy, definitely. So we should be out again in December. That's brilliant. I've had a long, hard camp, a good camp, and still need to get rid of that. Keep quite empty the tank.
Still explosive finish, excellent combination to end the fight.
Yeah, I just wanted to control it with the jab, take away any sort of attack that we had. We had a few in the first round, but the second round was better. And then once the openings came, I just took them. And the first shot got through, landed solid, and that was it. It was over.
You saw a shot in the first round, it didn't seem to affect you at all?
Nah, nothing at all. I think it must have looked much worse than what it was. First round, you're still finding your feet, you're still finding your balance, trying to get your defences tight. Synonymous with me, it happens a lot. So it didn't affect me, I didn't feel it, so it must have just got worse than what it was.
What next for you?
You know, I want to keep busy and I want to be stressed. I want opponents that are going to ask questions of me. It's going to be a great fighter. Start a camp, I need to improve, and I have improved. Thank you. And then I think everyone's sorted out tonight. Would you like Anderson next? That's an interesting fight. I know I've dropped him before with Anderson, and it's up to me to, I've got a boss, he's trying to work his way into a mandatory position, so maybe that will have to happen. I don't know.
What are your thoughts on the corner, Adam?
Happy with the second round. It was a world-class jab, and it was world-class shortly after he turned pro, but he just learned how to use it. And he used it really well, he used it effectively in the second round to make that distance, then show and do something. First round, I think they were both a little bit uptight actually, and George was the one that ended up throwing shots when he shouldn't have done, got caught, but he has a good chin. I know he's got a good chin. Seen him whack a lot, seen him hit enough, he's got a decent chin. But other than that, no, I'm happy. It was a good win. Paul got caught. Anyone can get caught to start a fight, and George can bang. When you've got two fellas in and it can dig, and someone get caught clean early, that's what happens. And I'll be pretty good at it.
For you, Paul, it was an excellent shot by George to finish the fight.
Great shot. Didn't see it, don't remember it. That's what I called George at the end of the first round. And that would be all ifs and buts, but that would be at the early in the round. Like I got caught, it might have been a different story, but no excuses from me. I got caught with a clean shot, good shot, powerful kid, strong kid, big puncher, and I got caught paid the price, and that's absolutely
No complaints about the referee full jumping in?
I complained at the time, but I'm sure if I watch it back, I'll probably change my mind. Referees are there to do the job, and Victor Loughlin, one of our best referees, and we might to argue. I got called because of the shot I got called because I didn't see it. So it's one of them things. I'm not going to argue with the referee. He's a top referee. I respect him as a referee. If he says I was in one position, then I'm going to take his word for it, and that's that.
George, your last two fights, you've beaten two of the best Brits around. Are you still content at the top of the domestic level and Commonwealth? Are you thinking about that?
I am content with the belts I've got. I've still got to defend them if I want to keep them outright, and that's an ambition that I have. If something bigger or better comes along and it's the right move, then 100% will take it. But on my heart, I'm not in the gym craving the same belt, because I know as long as I'm improving as a fighter, I'll get there, and I'll get there sooner rather than later.
You don't put a time frame on it or anything like that?
No, I don't like to put a time frame, but I just like to concentrate on the next task at hand. I've just been concentrating on this fight tonight, I haven't thought about anything past that point, because when you do that, you end up paying a price for it. So tonight was just about getting the job done. I wanted to do it, try and do it in style. I've boxed well tonight. People have seen improvements in me, so hopefully I'm on the same better.
Is that power, it seems to be developing as you grow older? Do you feel that that's
Yeah, definitely. When you do strength training, when you do any sort of training, it's an accumulative effect, and I'm not going to reach my peak until late 20s, maybe even later. So I'm getting stronger month on month, year on year. So that's sort of my side. You can't rush those things. It's just also about being in the gym and improving my boxing technique, and that also takes time.
You think you've shown you can move on to the next level now, push on properly?
I think so. I've beaten the top guys in Britain, so I'm happy to fight top guys in Europe now, and then beyond. So just want to keep regular, keep busy.
European champion.
I've already beat that European champion, haven't I? Maybe. I can't keep bashing up poor James Miguel. I can't keep taking the titles that he's winning. So I'll let him concentrate on improving. I think his last fight didn't see too much improvement. I think you saw a different side to me tonight, so you have seen improvement from me. My career definitely doesn't revolve around James Miguel. So it's just about finding fights that are going to make me improve as a fighter. And I've already learned how to beat it and put it in the southpaw.
But you improve mentally as well, you think, from the confidence you gain from beating Miguel. You think you're mentally tougher as well?
Yeah, definitely. You never know whether you're going to deal with it, I suppose, until you actually do. And I felt I dealt with it brilliantly. It was the highest type fight I know of, and it had sort of world title status, where it ended up being pay-per-view and sold out of the O2 Arena and things like that. And I was the one who dealt with it better than anyone else. So yeah, I think definitely mentally stronger and physically stronger as well.
Because it was a big test for you after all what happened in that fight against a class opponent. This was a big test for you when you came through.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. It's easy winning tough, and it's a defending. So you have to make sure that you're on your game 100%. And as I say, I've been in the gym and I've been making improvements. So it was just important for me to be able to show them tonight, and I did.
Frank, where do you see pushing George and Paul?
Well, I spoke to Joe after the fight. Paul moved up from the middleweight to super middleweight, and Joe feels he could go back down to middleweight. I don't know if that's the case, but it's a bit too soon to be talking about things. But
I've got the opportunity to fight for the old title against the kids up front. So I'm style. Whatever we want to do in the gym, I trust Joe. He thinks I can do middleweight. I know I can do middleweight.
what we do is, Paul's looking. I feel we've got a very good relationship. Whatever it's going to be, we're going to stick with him and do what we've got to do. It's as simple as that.
So with boxing, I had a decent first round. I caught George with a nice right hand at the end of the first round. That's it. It's all nips and bumps. I got caught with a crappy shot, and I'm not taking up George. He's a good kid.
And the referee was, the first punch was a tough enough to get up from. And the referee was big right, so certainly stopped it. Couldn't stop it before, but it was, as Paul said, that's what it is. That's what boxing is. That's what happened, and we're going to move on from that. We will move on from that. And as regarding what's the future as far as George is concerned, well, obviously Adam and George himself have got to sit down and see where we go. I'm promotional doing. Obviously, as a promoter, the fight I'd like to see is the 3 titles on the line. We've talked about that enough times, but that's going to be their decision at the end of the day. They want to go down the road. If it's not to be that one, then we move on and do something else. Whatever's going to happen, he's going to be busy, and as his promoter, I'll work very hard to ensure that he gets the right moves and the right fights at the right time.
Adam, I see you flexed your jaw there when the Gale's name gets
Super.
mentioned. Alright. Does it wind you up a bit? The Gale does keep getting mentioned.
It just means I just go to say no, because I want him to improve the fight. And James has got a really specific style. He will work against most of the fellas that he fights, because he's used to being that awkward southpaw, one Olympic gold medal. And so he's effective. You're only going to box. How many times are you going to box somebody like that in his pro career? If he ends up with 35 fights in his pro career, maybe 2 of them will be, maybe 3 of them will be someone like James again. So he's got to move on and progress as a fighter that I want him to be and that he deserves to be. And it's not, if they both keep winning, it's a no-brainer. It becomes a huge fight. I think Frank and I both agreed that the first time it happened it was probably a bit too soon for both of them, but it just so happened that they were so exciting together. It was a natural fight to make. But I want George to be the fighter that I think he can be. He needs to see different styles, not just the same one.
What time frame would that be, Adam? Do you think? What time frame would that be as a rematch?
Listen, Frank's saying that we can get out before Christmas, then back to the gym and working on the things we're working on. Because we made mistakes in the first one. You can't, if 2 people are punching at the same time, you can't be the one that's higher up in your head, and that's what happens when you cop the shot. He's got a good chin, but he doesn't need to prove it like that in the first round. So we've got to go back, keep working on it, and just improve the fighter. I'm not interested in talking about that for very long.
Just to speak about another fight, you got David in your corner again. Any signs that he's itching to get back in there?
He said that he got butterflies as he went into the ring, but it's only down to David. You know, I don't know what he's up to, what he's got planned. He's around here somewhere. Maybe he can ask him something.
He's going on Strictly Come Dancing.
It's been a wonderful night overall, my friend.
Sorry?
It's been a wonderful.
Well, I think we've been on a roll, haven't we? I mean, you see some of the best in British boxing over the last, since September. Well, actually, the whole year, with when I look back and see the fights that have taken place. But it's been phenomenal, and and they just keep coming. And I think Britain's got some of the best fighters out there. I mean, when you look at what we got and the depth and the talent, and you see what's coming through. It's phenomenal. And we've got a lot of fighters to be proud of, and I think can hold their own with most of the guys in the world. Ricky's beaten, to become a double world champion is a bit of a feat. It's a tough call, he's done it. And beat Martinez in his first fight, which I thought was a phenomenal performance. George tonight, he gave a great performance. Paul's going to come back. I know he'll come back. I know he's got the gumption to do so. He's going to certainly have the support to do it. And we've been on a roll. We've been on a roll with some fabulous fights, some great promotions, taking them around the country. Some of the best shows I've been involved with for a long, long time. And there'll be many more to come.
Proud of Spain about Rick. Any plans to have a celebration back in Scotland?
Yeah, I don't really drink much anyway, so I'll probably go on with a couple of weeks off, just take some time out and then back in the gym.
When you think what we've got, next year, the first 3 months of next year, Nathan Clever's going to be out, defend his title, Tony Clever's going to be out again. That was a fabulous fight. That's going to be a rematch down the road. We've got, many more are going to be there. George, James, all of them are going to be out fighting. So it's fabulous for British boxing. Fabulous time. Good fights, good quality fights, and we're going to keep delivering them. And you're only going to see them on Box Nation.
George Durrell
Which gets
mentioning
encrypted, just so you know. You're getting it for free at the moment. 30th of November, they'll start playing.
Durrell was talking about you respectfully the other day, but sort of saying that's you've got a lot of time for him to fight to be made. What are your thoughts on that? A way of building towards the World Cup?
Yeah, definitely. Durrell's a great fighter. Spent many rounds sparring with him, and it was a bit of an eye-opener for me because I feel he's an elite fighter. He's in the super middleweight division and sparred with Foch before, and then getting more rounds with Durrell, who showed up and wanted to take my head off. Believe me, it was real sparring. So. If you want to be the best in the world, at some point you have to cross paths with these guys. So you've got these game plans.
You've got to look how many fights they've had. He's had. And look how many fights with James DeGale's had. Look how they're it's funny, I was watching tonight, you know, I was thinking, as you sitting there, I thought to myself, here's guys fighting in title fights, was it 12 fights, 13, 14 fights? You know, years ago, you know, when I first started again, you know, British Championship, to fight in a British Championship, you'd have 25 fights or something. Now it's just in, and it's a real, you know, real high competitive work rate you see in fights. I mean, it's no, you know, years ago, you go, I remember the old instructions, go out and feel them out for a couple of rounds, see how you go. Now the bell goes, everybody gets straight down on it, and you, in some ways, the guys not, I don't think sometimes they're getting the schooling that they used to get from years ago, because it's being pushed, the level's being pushed all the time.
Is that dangerous, Frank? Because this time last year we were just talking about Derek's fight against Vladimir Klitschko, and then he went in with Tyson Fury and lost.
I think I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and you know it's a valid point. But the thing is with Derek, you got to remember before he fought Tyson Fury, he was out the ring for a year, training off, on, and then came in ridiculously overweight. And he gave, in my opinion, and I'm not taking a thing away from Tyson Fury because he trained really well and he deserved the win because he done what he had to do. But Derek just didn't. He shouldn't have been the weight he was. And yeah, did he go in a bit? But you know, they were offering Tyson Fury the shot against Klitschko, and they're doing that because I think they're running out of people to fight. But it's happening, you know. It's happening now. People are fighting for titles much quicker in their careers than they did years ago. But maybe I don't know whether they're fitter or they're stronger. It's different, you know, different. Their bodies are different. Different nutrition, different methods and so forth. But that is what's happening. And one thing that you do worry about is are they picking up the experience before they get to that level. Anyway, are we done, fellas? Fellow races? Well done.